looking for a home church, home family, Bible study. So it was my duty to go out and search. And it was to no avail. I couldn't find anything that just felt home. So one day I was driving through my neighborhood, and the Holy Spirit told me Lynn Skivington was my neighbor. And the Holy Spirit says, ask her about the Bible study. She always has cars at her house.
Oh,
Crazy, you know, it's like that's out of the norm for me. So I did that, and very embarrassed. She says, no, those cars are there because of my children. So then she told me about the chapel and the Bible study, and at that time she invited me, and I've been there 8 years. And a lot of love, a lot of love.
Vicki and I, along with a lot of the women here today, have been part of the women's ministries at the chapel, and it's been very, very good. Vicki, tell us about Gabrielle as a child.
She was very advanced, intelligent-wise. She was happy, very social. From the time I can remember, very social. Loved being around people, loved documentaries, even when she was very young, and kind of had a focus on her life.
So we're going to jump from that time to when she was about 14 and in 8th grade. Tell us about what you were experiencing with her as a family when she was 14 and 15, about her behavior.
Oh, Gabrielle was doing school refusals. She was cutting herself. She just was a straight A student, and her grades just plummeted. She started to withdraw from the good friends, and that's when she started to change.
So as she was getting more and more troubled with things that were going on inside of her and experiencing depression and family issues, she began having issues that got her hospitalized, and her mom began and her dad began working very hard to try to respond to her needs and what her behavior was saying that she needed. So jumping to 2016, all this acting out behavior began to escalate, and it escalated to a huge crescendo that involved the Hawthorne Woods Police and a certain sergeant that you guys have become very good friends with. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Gabrielle at that point really got out of control. She just started, her friends at this point just totally changed to undesirable friends. She, this time she was starting to sneak out of the windows, and when I would find out and couldn't chase her down, didn't know where she was, I would be at the door waiting for her to get home. So all this behavior, she refused to even go to therapist at this point. She just, she wouldn't talk to me. But this is also this age when all this started, when I gave her the iPhone. As soon as she had the iPhone, that's another huge difference that the turnaround happened.
So the iPhone became a channel and an opening of a door in her life that led to a lot of trouble.
Right, looking for the wrong things. So what happened was, with all the sneaking out, and I would stand by her bedroom door and listen, and then I would befriend the people she would be talking to on Facebook, because I wanted to get information out of these people, because Gabrielle was very closed mouth, very, very closed mouth. And then I noticed stuff was happening at school with her phone, and I did research. I did a lot of research. I went through, put spyware on her phone. I went to the phone company and had this parental app put on there, had all her contacts. Went through every single solitary contact. Came up with 2 people. Gabrielle was just one. 2 people, because Gabrielle was very vulnerable. One was ISIS. She was being groomed by ISIS. The other one was this gentleman named John. Right there, the red flag, John. And I don't know if everybody knows what John means. A pimp, that's what they call pimps, the John. So through all this, Gabrielle was having a fit of rage when she snuck out, and I got her, put her in the car, and I said, I'm gonna drive you to juvenile, you don't listen to me. And Gabrielle said to me, go ahead, very defiant, go ahead. And then I'm driving, I think, well, I can't take you because the police have to do that. So I'm gonna drive you to the police station. Gabrielle says, go ahead. So I did. And she says, I changed my mind, I don't wanna go in. I said, oh no, you're going in. So I drug her in practically, defiantly, you walked, I should say, right? And I asked to speak to an officer, and that's when we were first introduced to Officer Ed. He took about 2 hours with Gabrielle and tried to work through things with her, and we developed a connection with him. So that's how we met Officer Ed. That was the first point of connection.
So you had, as a mother, early in 2017, learn how to not only navigate her phone, but how to spy on her and how to try to listen and put together what was going on in your daughter's life. At the same time, you're experiencing a lot of marital issues and family issues, and your daughter has shut the door emotionally on you. And she's sneaking out of her window, and you're putting spyware and security stuff, and you're trying your best. And the one thing that you didn't mention is Vicki has been involved with her children from lunch mom to recess mom to PTO mom. She was at home the whole time, and this is all going on while she's at home. And she's a good mom. She's a present mom, and she's involved. And so at that time you found out there were two predators, ISIS and John. As we know, those are very dangerous organizations. So if anything you are able to share from getting through this experience now and getting to the point of knowing that there was a police investigation on these two men. Could you share just a little bit about that?
Well, I was the one who gave them the phone. I don't think everyone knows that. I gave them the phone to do the investigation. They sent it out to Waukegan. They got all the information. It confirmed everything that I knew. She wouldn't believe me when I tried to tell her how they could sneak her out of the country so easily. She wouldn't believe that. So I don't have a passport. No, they have everything. She was young. She didn't understand. She started to listen when I got the police involved, and Officer Ed stepped up to the plate for us. And that's when she was talking about all of the files and everything. I still think she was in denial over this, but John was a lot older than 26. He was in his 30s.
And one of the things that's still very real in their life is John is still contacting and still trying to contact Vicki.
No, that's the ISIS.
Oh, the ISIS. Okay, and because of, perhaps it's the color of your skin, perhaps it's your naivete, but to this day, Vicki describes that they have studied their family's social media, and they, to this day, are trying to enter into their family despite everything that has gone on. So, if there's anything that you want to share with our guests here, what would you like each of them to know? What is one thing as a parent you'd like to express and inform?
That's a good one, because I was always under the impression growing up sex trafficking was basically wayward children from bad families where they're dysfunctional so badly and all this stuff. But it absolutely can happen to good families, very good families. The predators it's easier for the predator because they're naive to it all. They don't understand it. They're not street smart. They're not hardened to it all. So anybody is vulnerable. I don't care where you come from, what echelon of life. They want you, they're going to come after you. I've learned that.
Thank you, Vicki and Gabrielle, for sharing your story. We are grateful.